Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
$60,000 channel points being gambled away on this game. On the surface,
Possible to sink to the level of this
so this game might seem like, you know, a low stakes kind of game.
Minions have spawned.
But for the people in the chat, looks like that is not the case. People really want, I don't know, maybe, I think I don't really see the scoreline right now when it comes to, you know, the betting. But I imagine a lot of people want Guar Stardians to win here. They want Guar Stardians to break their loss streak. 1-9 instead of 0-10. Both junglers starting on the bottom side of the map and receiving a leash from their bot lanes. Now we're going to see what happens afterwards. Is Eternal Ever just going to go for the 6 camp clear, the safest possible choice? Or his lane's just going to comply and really play it safe, not allow the other jungler to do anything particularly aggressive in these early stages of the game? As he already finishing his blue buff quadrant here. I think when it comes to, you know, the first potential target when it comes to a gank, I feel like the potential target here could be the Urgot, because he's really he's pushing this lane a little bit aggressively right now. And obviously, Nasus has the Wither that he can just apply on the Urgot without much trouble. So maybe that's a summoner that could be forced away by the Juicy Boys. Oh, now it looks like both junglers are just going to meet on this top side of a map. Ezzy is, Ezzy does not have mid lane priority, and he contests the top lane scuttle, and he pays for it. Big time. That is not a place where you want to be when you don't have mid lane priority. And now Velux is really suffering a lot with the mid lane Zeta having double buffs. He has the increased energy regeneration, plus he regenerates some of that health. So now he can just choose to recall whenever he wants to. He cannot really be forced out of lane, and Velux herself could be forced out of lane very shortly if jungler doesn't do anything about it. But right now he can't really do much about this whole situation. Back to doing the bot side camps. And with that very simple sequence, with the Guar Stardians jungler getting caught out, this already creates a big power imbalance in the mid lane. This Zed is going to be an issue. And it's going to be up to the Guar Stardians front line to try and stop him from assassinating people. And in this case, I don't really feel like they have the simplest tools to do so. And the electrocute just keeps getting procced on the Lux. There's no escaping with double shurikens. Aggressive trading of a bottom side here. Looks like the Cassiopeia will soon have to recall just to get her mana pool back to 100%. But doing pretty well in the CS department though. Probably has enough for Lost Chapter at this point in time. Yep, 1300 gold in the backpack. So that could be a potential back timing here for Trev. Slowly pushing out this lane. I think the Juicy Boys will soon try and find a recall spot. Right now, Convoker, okay, still has the Battle Dance. No harm done there. Backlord Convoker will try and keep this lane on their side of the map, but any attempts to freeze will fall flat just because the Cassiopeia has TP, and she can very easily deny that if she so chooses. This already creates a pretty big tempo swing for the Juicy Boys. Lilia also pathing towards that side of the map, so maybe in the near future we could see the Juicy Boys going for that first Drake of the game. But even if they don't do that, they're still in a very good situation. Bottom lane and mid lane in winning spots. Paul Jr. potentially looking for a solo kill very soon, although Yuri Undertones still has that barrier, so Zed will have to be careful with the kind of all-ins he chooses to go for. This is the part where you really have to understand your damage output, how much you can deal in one combo, how much you can realistically get away with. So now there could potentially be a window for Juicy Boys to just start the dragon, but instead, we're just going to get some more plates. And we're really going to pull away in terms of gold. $1,500 already for Juicy Boys. Now, the winning lane that Guar Stardians do have is the top lane. Urgot doing very well indeed against Vanasis. Obviously, Vanasis not really looking for fights early game, just looking to farm up as best he can before he can realistically fight the other top laner. I think eventually this matchup is just going to turn the other way, but right now Urgot is enjoying some gold leads in the top lane. Significant gold leads, in fact. Juicy Boys just starting with Dragon while the Guar Stardians bot lane is already in position, but yeah, with the jungler on the other side of the map and the mid laner not responding, Juicy Boys will indeed take this first neutral objective of the game. Now, it could be a gank incoming. Feather Storm used preemptively by Bekla, as well as a Flash Thunder spell by Convoker. So no kills for the Guar Stardians bottom lane, but it's going to be even more pressure towards that tower and potentially also experience leads. So that's perfectly fine for Guar Stardians. Now we see Trev and Ezzy in some ways Gumtree in a little bit of a scuffle here. Yuri Undertones is there to assist. So this blue buff will go the way of Guar Stardians. There will be no buff transfer. We'll have to see what kind of mythic Cassiopeia goes for. Will it be the Liandry's Anguish or will it be the Luden's Echo? Those are probably the two items I would expect in this case. We'll see what the preference is for Trev. Yeah, I would really like Guar Stardians to make some kind of move in the early game, but doesn't look like Poppy has many valid targets to choose from right now. Top lane was really never in danger of dying. I don't feel like there was ever a point in which our Stardians could dive the turret. Cassiopeia and Matimo, a little bit awkward to die with the Cassiopeia Miasma as well as the blind from Matimo. And the Zed having a shadow to rely on, but oh, as I say that, Ezzy is going to go for the gank. Trev trying to retaliate, but the exhaust is quickly applied as well as the knockback. Samwise Gumtree with his TP coming in, so it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. That gank by Ezzy quickly responded to, but Nasa's sacrificing his lane a little bit. But now, Hall Jr. just absolutely obliterating the Lux with his full combo. But yeah, Bekla finding that kill onto a Juicy Boy support. So it's not all bad for Guar Stardians. Finding that kill in the bot lane does feel very nice. Vizaya will have to be farmed up and healthy if Guar Stardians want to contest for this win. See another fight now. Eternal Ether. Oh! She's going to get yanked back into the meat grinder. That's a solo kill for Coffee Weeb. Alright. Guar Stardians definitely putting up a fight in this early game. The gank perhaps not as successful as they would want it to be, but they still get one kill for ready to carry. Now the top laner getting stronger and stronger. The only problem that Guar Stardians face right now, well, not the only problem, but it is their biggest problem. It's the Zed, who's probably very close to completing his mythic right here. And could be looking at another solo kill very soon. Zed is unleashed. He is out of a mid lane. He has a lot of freedom to potentially be looking towards the bottom lane, try and make some aggressive moves there. Ezzy looking towards that Nasus, trying to get some damage in. Yeah, Yuri Undertone's already down to 50%. Feel like staying under your tower is a risky proposition, even if you have your Zhonya's Hourglass. I feel like the jungler has to be very close to try and assist. Eternal Ether now going to be looking for a blue buff invade against the Guar Stardians. Can he get that blue buff for his team? Not quite. Oh wait, he did actually get it. Eternal Ether, by the skin of his teeth, manages to get that blue. And the Keeper's Verdict has to be used by the Poppy just to try and withstand the onslaught. Now Juicy Boys will just start the Infernal Dragon, no delays. We're going to get it as well. Guar Stardians in no position to respond or try and force a fight. And now, oh my goodness. Yuri Undertones pops to Zhonya's Hourglass, so that's a very good active item usage there. That could be very bad for Yuri Undertones right here. As we see a 2v2 big fight in the bottom lane. Bekla is going to get one kill. Can he get another? Oh, the damage from El Mapache almost kills Bekla as well. So it is a 1-for-1 trade. But in this case, it probably is one that favors Guar Stardians. At the end of the day, Azaya gets another kill. It is the second one of the game. Oh, Bekla's tempting luck here. Okay, he's going to recall eventually. He's not going to risk it. So that skirmish in the topside jungle there for Guar Stardians could have gone a lot worse. But as I mentioned before, very good Zonya's Hourglass by Yuri Undertones. Just straight up saves his life here. But it does delay his major power spike, which is usually the Luden's Echo. We see a gank in the mid lane, but Zed with his shadow just quickly denies that from happening. And now Ezzy is in a lot of trouble here. The Lilting Lullaby was not yet available though. That's perhaps one thing that saves Ezzy from dying in this spot. Oh, Amapache was almost spotted in that brush. Ezzy still goes in for the heroic charge, but that's a two-man sleep for Eternal Ether, and this could not possibly go well for the red team. Invoker has to turn tail. Oh, what a nice snipe from Coffee Weeb. Okay, it's a 1-for-1 again.
I'm just going to go hide forever now.
The Urgot seems to be a very bright spot for Guar Stardians in this very game. Bekla also potentially scaling towards a respectable build here. Although it does look like it's going to be Immortal Shield Bow. A defensive choice against champions like Vized. Probably primarily concerned about Vized here. Possibly not having 100% trust in that the Feather Storm can deny the damage that's coming in. Though on the other hand, Shield Bow also provides some sustain against the consistent DPS that is present. Not just the Zed, but also the Cassiopeia. With the constant poison takes in between fangs. Even the Teemo boasting some damage of his own. Probably was just the safer choice for the lane, not just the team fights. Okay. DC boys are going to just take the second Rift Herald, most likely. Not seeing Guar Stardians contesting this one. Nor should it really be contested. Yeah, we see just how much damage Cassiopeia can inflict in a very short span of time. That Vamp Scepter probably coming in handy. Coffee Weeb trying to force an all-in onto Samwise Gumtree. On the other side, Paul Jr. being attacked by two members of Guar Stardians. Samwise Gumtree winning this 1v1 though. Has the outscale finally begun? He has the Divine Sunderer. It's no longer a fight that Urgot wins, it seems. As he once again slept up by Eternal Ether. It's an easy kill for Hall Jr., who's now on a killing spree. So Juicy Boys, feel like we've hit this certain part of the game where Juicy Boys usually just pull ahead with a gold lead, just slowly start out-fighting you,
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
out-macroing, and just
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
closing out the game handily against their opponents. Now, of course, Guar Stardians still have tools to fight back, but they will be heavily pressured to contest this last dragon, potentially last dragon of the game, before the Elder Dragon spawn. The kind of map movements they'll be able to make will be limited, considering the situation. As Juicy Boys with a gold lead. And potentially also with a better setup. Lilia with the right positioning can do a lot more hurt than the Poppy, just with the Lilting Lullaby being well placed. Can really absolutely just single-handedly win the fight for her team. This is completely disregarding the amount of damage that Juicy Boys still possess. The amount of threat that the Zaya is under in these teamfights. If you try and approach with Cassiopeia, you might just get stunned, you might get miasma'd, and your movement heavily reduced. And on top of that, there's a Zed who's also trying to kill you as fast as possible. Well, there's Zed. He's really avoiding some of that CC thrown his way, and he also gets the assassination. Paul Jr. just keeps landing those kills one after another. And even if Featherstorm was used, plus the shield bow popped, it doesn't really feel like there's much Messiah can do against the Zed. He's really flexible when it comes to his angles of approach. He has his shadows, so he never really has to commit. He can jump in at any time he wants. He also has he also has points during which he cannot be targeted by the enemy team, so he can avoid certain crowd control abilities and certain damage abilities. As I'm saying that, we have a fight in the top lane. There's a 1-for-1 trade. Juicy Boy's not stifled by this though. Rev is just going to continue pushing in the side lane. Now, he will be in trouble. This is definitely not safe territory for you. Especially when you're not surrounded by your teammates. And Coffee Weeb gets kill number 3 in this game. $7,000 gold lead for Juicy Boys. Mountain Drake is about to spawn. There's only just about 1 minute left. Both teams are going for the setup. But it's Juicy Boys with the positioning advantage. Paul Jr. without his shadow here. Is he going to still try and go in? Not really. Now with the amount of control that Juicy Boys have. Oh, we see an initiation though. Elma Pachi is going to fall very quickly. Both supports will die. The stun against the wall, very nicely done by Guar Stardians. This is looking like a teamfight win so far. Hole Jr. also has to flash away just to stay alive, but now Samwise Gumtree a lot of DPS, but he cannot stop the Xayah Feathers from coming out. And this is a 3 for 2. Guar Stardians winning out on that fight and could also be getting the dragon. Winning the fight, getting the crucial pick at the beginning despite that gold deficit. And there's still some fight left in Guar Stardians, but here comes the Cassiopeia. Can she take this dragon away from the enemy team? No, she can't. Can she at least get one kill? No more Immortal Shield though for Xayah. Guar Stardians want to go for this fight. Trev has to flash away just to keep his distance. Now, I wouldn't advise Guar Stardians on, when it comes to re-engaging. Oh no, the Shroom! Coffee Leaf, save yourself. The shield is going to prevent the Shroom from taking his life prematurely. It's a small win for Guar Stardians, but yeah, they need a lot more of those if they want to seriously think about winning this game. Right now it's only a small step, only a small setback for Juicy Boys. They're still in control. We still have the map control as well. They continue putting down pressure on these side lanes, choking out Guar Stardian's vision. And when you don't have the vision, it's really that much harder to make picks. So this tier 2 top lane turret will still be taken by the enemy team. Ezzy falling dangerously low. Has a lot of armor, but apparently not enough to protect himself against the Zed. Janitor Urgot here, wiping out all the shrooms before Guar Stardians can move forward into the team fight. Ezzy now almost about to die, but initiation once again coming in from Guar Stardians. Zhonya's popped by Eternal Ether, probably has to flash away, and the flash will indeed come out. Not the worst initiation from Guar Stardians, but now the Shroom has taken another victim. And it is going to be Ezzy falling once more. Invoker just coming in with a grand entrance to dissuade Juicy Boys from continuing the push. Paul Jr. getting that tower in the mid lane. But it's now Juicy Boys on the Baron, and Guar Stardians, yeah. The push and pull from the Juicy Boys has succeeded. Guar Stardians had no answer to this Baron take from the Juicy Boys. And this gold lead will probably just keep growing. This could be the nail in the coffin for Guar Stardians right here. They have to find a good initiation for this fight, but I feel like they have limited tools to do so. The Rakan is one of them, but against this team, it's really hard to engage. To engage first rather than counter-engage. The Poppy has a situational stun, I suppose. The Lux has her snare, but not really relying on that for initiation. So Guar Stardians not in the best position when it comes to playing from behind here, but yeah, they have to keep looking. Perhaps it has to be Urgot as some kind of conduit for Rakan to pull off an engage of a lifetime. But you have to remember that Cassiopeia can still stop them in their tracks with a petrifying gaze. Once again, a lot of pressure being applied by the Juicy Boys in the side lane. Trying to take down the second inhibitor turret of the game. Moving in slowly but surely towards the Guar Stardians Nexus. But now the bot lane push is put on standby as the Mountain Soul is going to be secured. Guar Stardians moving in as fast as they can, but they cannot stop this Mountain Drake from going down. And I don't think this was the right choice, although they get one kill. Coffee Weep with the flash. Can they get Trev? No, they can't. Oh my goodness, the damage from the Cassiopeia is way too much. Burns through the shield bow. The Feather Storm is not enough. And now, with all the members dead on the side of Guar Stardians, it's just going to be a game win. Instead of, you know, Guar Stardians just conceding that the Mountain Dragon will go down, just focusing on base defense while Juicy Boys still have the Baron buff was not the case. They decided to go for the hero steal, did not work out for them, and now it's very close to a game ending right here. Second inhibitor going down, only one Nexus turret remaining. Very nice stun by Ezzy, but Eternal Ether still has Zanya's Hourglass. Now Yuri Undertones with a very nice final spark to get that kill in return. Guar Stardians still fighting bravely, trying to prevent 0 and 10 from happening, but they no longer have any structures to fall back to. They will have to fight. They take down Hole Jr. That's a big shutdown for Vizaya. Try takes down the Coffee Weep. It's a 2-for-1 right now for the Guar Stardians. A 3-for-1. Elmo Pache trying to take down the Nexus, but he will not get enough time to do so. Guar Stardians defend their base successfully. But how long can they hold on to their last remaining structure? Yeah, it's a very, very tough spot. It's always very hard to defend when all of your inhibitors are down. The other team has all the time in the world to set up their push. They have nothing to worry about. Any kind of neutral objective that could still be on the map will basically just fall to the hands of Juicy Boys because Guar Stardians realistically cannot move away from their base. This is a scenario that we see very often when a team is down to just their Nexus. Very rarely do we see teams come back from spots like this. The base defense has to be perfect. The team fights have to be immaculate from Guar Stardians. And even that might not be enough if Juicy Boys just decide to rush the Nexus as fast as they possibly can. They find a window. They will try to look for some kind of team fight potentially. A 1 engage from Eternal Ether. The flash into the Lilting Lullaby will probably come sooner rather than later, just waiting for the right opportunity to do so. Nass is already going in. He is bonked out of a fight though. TP's back in just to try and get some damage back into Guar Stardians, but yeah, they're just falling way too fast. And the TP will not matter at all. Juicy Boys will deny Guar Stardians their opportunity to win their first game. Guar Stardians down to 0-10, while Juicy Boys move up to 6-2, and they are still in the running for the top 1 position in the league. They still have 2 outstanding games at the moment. One against La Mafia and one